Hey everybody, Pierre.nadeau here from the Nadeau Real Estate Group and eXp Realty. So here are some of the 5 things that you should know before you move to the city of Kingston. One of the first things that we have is that we have a huge historic society here. There's all kinds of historic sites. Fort Henry, which was built back in 1812, I believe. They have tours and different things that you can go and have a look at over there, which is really, really cool. Kingston Penitentiary, which is now closed, but has turned into a tourist attraction, and it is one of the coolest things that you'll ever see. One of the oldest penitentiaries in Canada. The second big thing is education. So in Kingston, we have so much going on. We've got military college, we have Queen's University, we have Laurentian University, and we have St. Lawrence College. And that brings in a lot of students. It brings in a lot of faculty. So it really drives our market up in the Kingston market. Then we also have an amazing waterfront. So in Kingston, we have the Thousand Islands, which is some of the best boating that you'll ever experience in the world. Freshwater boating. You can actually go anywhere in the world. In some of our other videos, we will be talking about some of the different places that you can go and visit, the beaches. It is absolutely awesome. The cultural scene in Kingston, all kinds of entertainment, music, the blues festival. There's never ending stuff going on in the cultural scene. And then we also have number 5, the healthcare and sciences. So here we have 2 major hospitals, Hotel Dieu Hospital and Kingston General Hospital. And then they are also research hospitals for Queen's University. So that brings in a ton of business for our economy, and one of the major things that you really have to look at when you're making a move to Kingston. Today we are going to talk to you about some of the things that you need to know before you move to the Kingston market. Year-to-date sales, 2,361 units have sold in 2022. As of this date, we're in December 2023, which is actually a 17% decrease from 2022. So now what we're seeing is that we're getting more houses on the market, becoming more of a buyer's market. Obviously the buyers have a little bit more negotiating room compared to 2021 and 2022. So there are some great deals out there to be had. And again, a lot of negotiations going on. We are still seeing some multiple offers that are happening, but usually when that's happening is when real estate agents are going in and just really underpricing the properties. And all of a sudden you're seeing 15, 20 offers. And then, you know, when the price finally gets negotiated, it ends up being probably where it should have been when they first started. We are now moving back to average levels of inventory as well. And the average inventory that we're running into right now is about 3 months. So our average sales price right now is $543,000, which is actually 2.5% less than it was at the same time last year in 2022. So not a huge drop, but as you can see, because of the inventory levels going up and the market changing, interest rates are going up. So that's bringing the prices down a little bit as well. All right, so one of the main things that we want to talk about is neighborhoods in the Kingston area. Okay, where do we go? Where do we move? I get this question all the time. What are the best neighborhoods? Well, I guess it just depends on what you're looking for, right? So if you've got a family, you got some kids, and you're worried about school districts, things like that, some of the highest places that I would recommend is if you go to the East End, which is close to the military base. We got a lot of military families out there. The schools are amazing. They're newer, tons of parks, tons of facilities to do things, but it's also very close to downtown. So the big arena where the junior hockey team plays, all the downtown restaurants, things like that, very close proximity to that. So that would be the East End I would recommend. And then there's also the West End of Kingston that has all the shopping, all the big shopping malls, ton of restaurants as well, the Walmarts and things like that you're going to get. But the school districts that you'll also get in the West End as well, like in Bay Ridge, Henderson Place. Henderson Place has an amazing school district, one of the top rated ones in Kingston. So those are some really neat places that you'll see out there. Now, some people ask me new developments. I want a new house. I don't want an old house. I mean, some of the other neighborhoods that I mentioned, you've got big lots. They're older homes, very affordable. But if you want something newer, you don't want to look after all that maintenance. The big and up and coming areas are, you've got Amhersview, which is right in the West End of Kingston. It's right along the waterfront, which is really, really nice. It is growing right through to the 401 corridor. And now you're seeing a place called Odessa, a ton of development and building going on there as well. And then as you get a little bit closer to Kingston, which is becoming new, you know, Kingston's new West End, you look at Westbrook. A lot of new construction there. There's some executive homes there as well that are quite nice. These price ranges in West End that we just talked about, Amhersview, Odessa, and Westbrook, you're looking at anywhere from $600,000 to $1 million, 1.2, depending on the size of the lot and the size of the home that you're getting, of course. They've also have townhomes and things like that there as well, and rentals. If if you're looking for a rental. Now, let's talk about executive homes. All right, if you're looking for something a little bit fancier, a little bit bigger, Kingston has a lot of waterfront. There are a ton of freshwater lakes in the area, including, like we talked about earlier, one of our videos, we were talking about the St. Lawrence River and the Thousand Islands, okay, which is one of my favorite spots. That's where I live, so I really enjoy boating in the Thousand Islands. There's always something to do. There's beaches, there's all kinds of really cool things that you can go boating every day and never go to the same spot, which is really, really nice. But you also have some smaller lakes north of Kingston, which is Slowborough Lake, which we've lived there before, is a 21-mile lake. There's a lot of executive homes on there as well too. Beautiful spots, very affordable though compared to some of the major cities that are around us. So if you're looking for an executive home, you can also go to some of the nicer neighborhoods that we have in the East End that have 2-3 acre lots, and you can get homes in there for ranging from $1 million to $2.5 million. We also have condos, okay, so some beautiful condos along the water near the golf course, Cataraqui Golf Course. If you're a golfer, you can have waterfront on one side of you and a beautiful country club right across the road from you. Again, reach out to us and let us know what you're looking for, and we're here to help. One of the other areas that we want to talk about is the investment area, because we deal with a lot of investors and they're looking for properties. I mean, obviously everybody's looking for stuff that is cash flowing, but because of Queen's University and St. Lawrence College, and obviously we've got the military college here as well too, we have a lot of students, and there's a huge influx of students coming in all the time. Downtown Kingston is where you're going to find all these properties. Now, the price tags are usually a little bit higher, but what ends up happening is a lot of these parents that are coming in buying properties for their kids, they have their kids go to school for 4 or 5 years, and by the time they go to sell the property, it's been such a good investment, it usually ends up paying for the education that they just paid for. So, you got to look at it as a long-term investment, not necessarily always cash flowing, but we do have some properties that are cash flowing as well. If you're looking for a complete list of some of the top areas that we have, click on the link below. We'll send you our preferred list. Guys, we're going to talk about transportation. What's it like getting around Kingston? Okay, well, being a small town, we got about 140,000 people here. Not overly difficult to get around Kingston. Obviously, we have a public transit system, which is amazing, get you around no problem. We also have, because we're located right in the middle of basically Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto, 3 major centers, we're right in the middle. We have a really good train system as well, via rail, get you to Toronto in 2.5 hours. Same thing with Montreal. Ottawa's about an hour and a half away. So if you're working in those major cities or you're doing business there, very, very easy access with via rail. And we are now starting to build a lot of bike routes as well. You'll notice along the main roads that there are bike routes everywhere. So there's a lot of people that are choosing to take their bikes to work now. So that's another good thing. We also have the Kingston Airport here, which can get you to Toronto in about 40 minutes as well. They are now starting to have a lot of flights coming out of there. Obviously, get you to Montreal and Ottawa just as quick as well. And then one of the best things, I guess, like when I drive into these major cities like Toronto and Montreal, I'm finding that I can't handle the traffic. I just can't handle the rush hours and things like that. So in Kingston, the funny thing is, sometimes we have people complaining that it took them 10 minutes to get home or 20 minutes to get home, but you're not going to see those major traffic jams. You can get from one end of the city to the other, complete opposite end, in 20 minutes max. But also, if you're living on the outskirts, where we said, there's hundreds of lakes that you can live on, and if you like to be more out in the country, again, you're 20 to 30 minute radius within the city. So one of the best parts about Kingston is that you're not going to run into those major traffic jams. All right, so that finishes my segment on the transportation side of Kingston. If you have any comments or if there's something that I've missed, I'd love to have your comments down below. So please let me know if there's anything additional that you think that should be in here. So today we're going to talk about Kingston's economy and what we offer for jobs. And if you're thinking about moving to Kingston, what's available for you to do. One of the biggest things I think in Kingston is that a ton of government jobs, where we have such a stable economy. And when you look at the stats of Kingston over the years, we don't have the really highs, but we don't have the lows as well, right? It's nice and stable, and it goes up. So great place to invest. As far as government goes, the rumor is true. We do have a lot of penitentiaries here. I think we're at about 5 or 6 different penitentiaries within a 40-minute radius, but employs a lot of people, good paying jobs at that as well. So those people are buying homes here. We have a military base here, which employs quite a few people there. Second one would be education, because Queen's University is such a major university. Queen's brings in a ton of students, but it also brings in a ton of faculty. And they're a research university as well for the hospitals, so they bring in a ton of business for that as well. Then you have St. Lawrence College as well, and then part of St. Lawrence College you have Laurentian University as well. So a lot of schooling stuff going on here in the area, which employs a lot of people. Then we have distribution. Because of our location, which we had said in previous videos as well, where we're located between Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, 3 major centers, but we're also right at the border. It literally takes us 10 minutes to get to the border here, and next thing you know, you're across to USA, Watertown, Syracuse, all those places are real close to us as well. So distribution has been a major factor in our area as well. Then we go back to the health industry. Because we have 2 major hospitals here, we have a cancer center here as well. They are research hospitals as well. They are major employers in our area. Now, last but not least, we have tourism. A ton of tourism because of the Thousand Islands, because of the waterfront, because it's such a beautiful historic city. We just had a boat cruise earlier this summer, and we had a bunch of people come in from Toronto. We had a bunch of people come in from Montreal, and they were like, we never knew all this was here. This is so beautiful. We can't believe, even, we were talking about prices of real estate. They're like, we can't believe that you can buy a waterfront house for $1 million or 1.5. We can't get anything like that in our area. So tourism is a really nice addition to all the other things that I mentioned above. So if I missed anything, or if you think that you've got something to add to this, please let me know. I'd love to share it with everybody. If you have any questions, just please reach out or send me a message below.